Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing about the stock market, Bitcoin, but also I'm going to give you at the end a altcoin, which I think is going to do very well for this upcoming 2024 bull market. But before we continue, all the time, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button for more updates because we post one video every single day. Today I want to discuss more about Bitcoin because, of course, as you know, the crypto market is highly influenced on the trend of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up in general, altcoins go up, and if Bitcoin is going to correct, altcoins is going to go down. So maybe analyzing today Bitcoin and also the stock market can help us to understand where we are heading next. Now let's cut the chase, and I'm going to show you straight away this chart over here, which represents the DXY or the US dollar index, which measures the strength of the US dollar compared to other currencies like the euro, the GBP pound, Japanese yen, and they put them all together against the US dollar, and it gives you a value. So at the moment, as you can see from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change a few colors about my trends over here. On the monthly chart, the DXY is into this area over here. So you can see from here, we're forming like a sort of a B, C, D pattern. So we go A over here, B over here, C over here, and D over here. And in my opinion, it looks like that the DXY has touched now this level of resistance, which I highlighted already in my previous video. If you go back, a month ago, I said we would have seen a rejection over here, and now looks like it's rejecting this area of resistance. We also with the bearish engulfing candles. So if in this month over here in March we're going to see this red candle over here correlate the blue candle, we're going to see the DXY trending down this way. Why this is actually very good for stocks and crypto, guys? Because every time the DXY tend to go downwards, usually can be very beneficial for stocks and crypto. It means that people are actually selling the US dollar and they're buying assets, they're buying stocks, they're buying crypto. And therefore, we can kind of anticipate that if this one is going to go lower, then we will be making more money with crypto and stocks. Also, I want to show you something which is quite interesting about the S&P 500. I'm going to go on the weekly chart so you can see a little bit better. So this at the moment, guys, is my representation of the S&P 500. Why is it important to have a look at the S&P to, have a look at what can be happening in crypto? Is because usually the S&P 500 is the leading indicator for stocks and also risk assets. When this one trends higher, this can be very beneficial for risk assets. And as you can see at the moment, right, the S&P is at 5,157, keeps going higher. But the question is, how high is going to go to until we're going to see a rejection and a correction? Now, it is my opinion, guys, that the S&P 500 on the weekly chart is forming, as you can see, a parabolic move, or what we can call it a blow off top. So blow off top are those movements which are like parabolic movements, which are represented by this parabola from here. And what can happen is once you're going to start to initiate the parabola, you're not going to stop it until it's going to be vertical. So it is my opinion that in the next I would say 2 to 3 months, we could actually enter into this stage of this parabolic move. So we're going to go from here, we're going to keep trending higher and higher and higher until we're going to go and reach levels of, as my primary target, as for the Fibonacci extension, $5,667 or even $6,000. But at the moment, guys, there is something that you need to pay attention. Is the fact that the S&P 500 has been going up since October 2023. So a correction right now could be very feasible, could be on the horizon coming around March of April. So I wouldn't be surprised if instead of going just straight to 5,700, we're going to see a correction going down to here, to then, of course, pump all the way up to this. Now, why this is very relevant to Bitcoin and to crypto? Because sometimes what can happen is whenever the S&P 500 sells off, okay, so whenever we're going to see a sell in the S&P 500, in general, Bitcoin tends to perform better compared to the S&P. So if we're going to see a drawdown over here, a correction down to 4,700, 4,800 to like previous all-time high, what could be happening with Bitcoin? Bitcoin could actually take all of these gains and it could actually go higher. So if I had to guess, because this guy is not financial advisor, it's just only my own research, don't invest in trade based on what I'm saying, just based on your research, but based on my research, I think that's what is going to be happening, is the fact that we are having the halving, which is only roughly 6 weeks away. And if the S&P 500 is going to correct a little bit from here, then what we might be seeing will be all the money going from the S&P 500 to Bitcoin in anticipation of the halving event. And that, of course, could trigger a big bull run and go to new highs. Now, enough for the S&P 500. I want to show you what's going to be happening now with Bitcoin to give you an idea of our long-term scenario and short-term scenario. So at the moment, what I think is going to be happening with Bitcoin until the halving. So the halving event, I think, is going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. It's going to be on every possible news. The halving event is going to cut the Bitcoin supply by half. Everybody's going to get so pumped. And then what's going to happen after? We might see a dump post-halving because everybody's going to buy in anticipation, and then the Bitcoin price could actually surge to way higher levels, and then, as I said before, we could dump from there. So as for my expectation before the halving, I actually was highlighting the lowest point when the ETF was approved with BlackRock until our all-time high. And I found that if I actually calculate our Fibonacci extension from here, and also if I calculate these two tops in a diagonal straight line from here, it brings in that about the 20th of April, which is in correspondence with the halving, the target of Bitcoin could be as high as $86,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if in this month over here and also in the month of April, we could be continuing to go higher until we're going to touch roughly $82,000 to $83,000. So 83 to 86,000. That's going to be the target that I think we're going to go for Bitcoin and crypto, which is going to be, it's quite exciting, I would say. But of course, you have to be very, very careful because it could be going to maybe 75 and then reject, 72 and then reject. And I said to my private Discord channel that unfortunately, at the moment, if you haven't bought at 48,000, 49,000, buy right now will be a suicide mission because we are so overextended that even a glimpse of a bad news, it could actually bring the price of Bitcoin to the downside. But at the moment, I'm expecting that before the halving, 86,000 could be as a mid-top target before seeing a significant correction. That's going to be my first level of interest. I'm going to go more now into a shorter time frame to show you on the 1 hour chart what I think is going to be happening now with Bitcoin. And at the moment, as you can see, I'm forming this pattern over here, and it looks like Bitcoin is into this ascending channel. And I believe that until the 13th of March, we might be able to actually push up to $75,000 to then have a sell-off and go down maybe until the beginning of April down to maybe $52,000 to $53,000. So if you had to guess right now, I could be thinking that in the next 1 to 2 weeks, we're going to pump up to $75,000, $72,000, then have a bit of a sell-off to go down, retest the $52,000, $53,000, and then pump to the $84,000 to $86,000. So happening from now until the halving, which is going to be in April. So again, should I buy? Should I sell? What should I do? Guys, as I said before, this is a very, very risky territory right now because every possible indicator is extremely overbought. I mean, look at this. On the daily, we are overbought. 4 hours, we're overbought. Everything is overbought. And let's say, if I haven't entered the cryptocurrency market right now, what I will probably be looking at would be this level of support here at around $48,000. So I wouldn't be surprised if from here, we're going to go down to 48K. There's a very strong level of support and then resume all of our way up. And then maybe from 86,000, we're going to touch the midterm top, break down again, form like a double top, and then continue over 100,000. But right now, I would be very careful in this area. And then if it's going to go to 100,000 from here, guys, I mean, from a technical point of view, everything was screaming sell. But again, the market can stay irrational as long as you can stay insolvent. So the thing is, sometimes, technical can work, but sometimes, fundamentals works even better. Guys, the next one I want to show you today, which I think is going to be very interesting, is a coin that's has been around for a very long time, but it's not bonk. But today I want to talk about Solana, guys. Solana has been going into a rampage. I'm going to show you this very interesting chart. Let me see if I can find it from here, which I unfortunately closed it. I don't know why, but I'm going to actually take like a new chart so I can show you very well what I think is going to be happening with Solana. So Solana is in an incredible scenario, and if you actually go back to my previous videos, I was showing that Solana would have had this bull flag, so it was forming a bull flag. I'm going to show you from here with my brush. So it went up this way, and then it just went down like that, and then if this bull flag is going to continue, guys, the target is going to be from the pole to the flag. I can bring it over here, and it brings exactly to $200. And it's quite remarkable that if I'm going to go and draw a Fibonacci retracement, it's showing me exactly that the $200 mark is the 0.786 Fibonacci. So I wouldn't be surprised if Solana, especially if Bitcoin is going to break all-time high, we're going to see Solana with a continuation to go up to $200. And should you buy Solana right now? Well, again, let's have a look at the something like the 4-hour chart so you can have a better understanding. I mean, Solana is already showing over here a bearish divergence on the RSI, which doesn't look, incredibly good. But again, if I was about to be a buyer, and if I haven't had if I haven't had a chance to actually buy right now, I will wait for the price to go back into this area at around $106. Because again, it would be a suicide mission just to go right now, because the likelihood of the Solana price to actually go down again, it's more than it's going to go to $200 straight. Then if you tell me, of course, there are so many other strategies that people can use. For example, maybe buying a third around this area, then another third here, another third here. But again, this is not financial advice. You just do whatever you want to do. What I'm going to do, I already bought Solana at roughly $10, so I don't really care what it's doing right now. I'm holding my spots. Maybe I'll scoop out a little bit if it's going to drop here, like having a flash crash like in this case over here. But looks like Solana really is going to go to $200 in a matter of a few months. Guys, I hope it was helpful. So to summarize, the S&P 500 looks like it's going to have a little bit of a correction, which then could help to propel Bitcoin to new highs. Bitcoin, of course, is going to go in between $75,000 to $86,000 in the next coming 1 to 2 months. But again, I think a correction is on the horizon, maybe next month, the month after. That's why I'm really try to tell you to stay safe. Don't listen to financial gurus online that tell you that it's going to go to $1 million. Be objective in this market, and most important thing, stay safe and apply proper risk management. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and I'm going to see you in the next one tomorrow. Have a great day.